Hey everyone, welcome to Reality TV News Update, the place where we bring you the latest updates, fun moments, and behind-the-scenes stories you won't want to miss. It is not unusual for some Survivor players to have regrets following their elimination from the reality series. There are a lot of ways a castaway can make a mistake and end up paying the ultimate price, whether it was a mistake they made during gameplay or when dealing with the show's social side. When it comes to Survivor 50 in the hands of the fans, nothing has changed. Charlie Davis has explained how he was taken by surprise when he was eliminated from the anniversary edition of the show. He doesn't know if his tribe deliberately chose to lose a challenge to vote him out. Charlie Davis explains why he is unable to determine whether his tribe staged a challenge to kill him. Davis stated in an exit interview with Entertainment Weekly following his departure from the show that he is not 100% certain whether his teammates intentionally threw the challenge in order to vote him out. Even though he believes that everyone worked hard to win the challenge, the fact that some of his tribe mates had previously talked about losing a challenge to get rid of Rizzo Velovich complicates the situation. He responded, "So I actually don't know," when asked if any members of his tribe had thrown the challenge. And it's funny that it wasn't actually shown, but I talked to Jonathan about the possibility that we should throw the challenge to get Rizzo out. Davis went on to say, "That was the challenge morning when Rick had just been like, 'Oh, Rizzo's targeting Charlie.' As a result, we had a conversation, but as far as I know, neither of us actually met that challenge. However, I later learned that they may have attempted to do so and considered throwing it in an effort to free me, so I don't know. They will need to be asked." He also revealed that he was taken by surprise at Tribal Council when his name was read out by his teammates. "So I knew Rizzo was coming after me," he explained, "so that was not a surprise, I guess, but I did not expect or think at all that Dee and Camilla had flipped. I was really taken aback by the fact that that was the main section, and I think in the moment I even went to Dee and was like, 'This was you?' I said something to that effect." Being referred to as the dumbest player, Charlie Davis responds. Dee Weladares criticized him during the Tribal Council where he was voted out of the series. She exclaimed, "I actually thought Charlie was the most dangerous player here, but I actually think he's the dumbest player here." Davis was questioned about how he felt about those remarks and how he responded to hearing them during the same interview. "I mean, not great. Hearing it wasn't very entertaining. I'll say this, I think that Dee and I were playing very different games, and I hoped and believed all along that I would continue to work with Dee." He added, "I considered her a really tight ally out there. Additionally, I probably had a small blind spot due to my prior knowledge of her outside the game, so I just didn't really have it in my mind to target her at all. But I think we just didn't work as well together when we were actually out there." He concluded, "It was not super fun to have Dee be like the dumbest player out here, but honestly, I'm grateful to be part of the season, and I don't hold any grudges or anything." After a flurry of criticism from viewers regarding singer Zac Brown's attention-grabbing appearance on the milestone 50th season, Survivor executives are scrambling behind the scenes. The country star has received more screen time on the CBS show than some of the contestants from season 50, which typically follows a group of castaways who frequently outwit, outplay, and outlast one another in the competitive game. The U.S. Sun was told exclusively by an insider that production is already making edits to upcoming episodes in response to the mass outrage over the show's increasing reliance on celebrity cameos this season. Production has seen the backlash, and they stand by their decisions made to make this a superstar, supersized season. However, they do not wish to alienate the audience. They are hearing everyone out, and did make the decision that they would reduce some of the subsequent cameo edits, primarily Mr. Beast. The source stated, "It's pretty late to make cuts, but not too late. Learn more about Survivor Tribe has spoken. Survivor 50 spoilers revealed as two big names meet early exits. Outplay, outlast." The star of Survivor 50 speaks out about her very hardcore past in adult films. Viewers were quick to slam the show after Zac Brown dominated large portions of a recent episode, a move many argued took valuable screen time from actual contestants. Within minutes of the episode's airing, longtime fans accused the show of losing its identity on social media. One viewer asked, "Why does Zach Brown receive more confessions than the other castaways? This is laughable." A different critic lamented, "I never waited 50 seasons for this to turn into a celebrity cameo fest." The Insider said that production is now actively trimming future celebrity segments, with YouTube megastar Mr. Beast among those most affected. They're trying to strike a balance. They wanted to give this season a huge feel, but they're realizing they may have gone too far. Survivor's milestone season was designed as a celebration of pop culture and legacy, blending iconic gameplay with major celebrity crossovers. Zach, a longtime fan of the show, was brought in as part of a special twist that included mentoring elements and themed challenges tied to music and endurance. The winning tribe of the award challenge he was a part of would get to spend an afternoon on a private beach listening to the croner belt out his hits while enjoying food he caught himself. While some fan favorites like Tiffany Irvin didn't get a single confession despite making a series of game-changing moves, Zach's spearfishing segment dominated the episode. Producers also viewed his appearance as a way to draw in new viewers beyond the show's core audience, but for many die-hard fans, the execution missed the mark. Zach isn't the only big name to appear this season. With the introduction of the Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol, a twist that allowed players to give an idol to an opposing tribe but reclaim it under specific conditions, pop star Billie Eilish has caused a stir throughout the season. Meanwhile, late-night host Jimmy Fallon has also been involved in promotional segments and surprise appearances tied to challenges. While some viewers appreciated the creativity, others felt the show veered too far from its roots. One fan wrote, "Billie Eilish was fun for 5 minutes, but now it's every episode with someone famous." Another added, "This is supposed to be about survival and strategy, not celebrity gimmicks." A third person jokingly stated, "I never want to hear the phrase Billie Eilish Boomerang Idol again in my entire life." Insiders insist that producers are not completely abandoning the concept despite the backlash. Instead, they're aiming to recalibrate. They still believe in the vision, the source said. They just want to make sure the players remain the focus. With several episodes still to air, it remains to be seen whether the late-stage edits will be enough to win back skeptical fans, or if the supersized season has already gone too far. Survivor Season 50 airs on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. on CBS and is available to stream the next day on Paramount.
The tribe stumbled back from the challenge. The sun was low over the island, casting long shadows on the beach. Nobody talked. The only sounds were the crunch of sand beneath tired feet and the distant crash of waves. At the back of the group walked Aaron, his jaw tight, his mind racing. He was overcome with emotion. They had lost that challenge on purpose. It replayed in his head again and again, the moment everything fell apart. They had previously practiced different versions of the final puzzle, which was a straightforward one. Nonetheless, they stumbled in some way. Pieces that were stuffed in the wrong places, neglecting obvious connections. And the worst part? The peculiar lack of urgency. In an effort to assist, Aaron had been yelling directions, but his voice seemed to vanish into the chaos. He was barely noticed by his teammates. They appeared to have already conceded defeat, or, even worse, planned it. Back at camp, the tension settled like humidity in the air. Whispering, individuals dispersed into small groups. When Aaron walked by, he noticed how quickly people stopped talking. That demonstrated it. Something wasn't right. He dropped his bag near the shelter and sat on a log, staring out at the ocean. He made an effort to be rational. Maybe they were just exhausted. It could have been a bad day. However, his gut said otherwise. Rough one, right? Aaron turned to see Caleb approaching, offering a sympathetic smile. He believed that Caleb had been one of his closest allies. Aaron responded, carefully examining him. "Yeah, that should have been ours." Sitting next to him, Caleb shrugged. "Puzzles aren't everyone's strength." Aaron said quietly, "That wasn't the problem. We've done harder ones." Caleb didn't respond immediately. He just picked up a stick and started drawing lines in the sand. Aaron leaned in slightly. Did you notice how off it felt? Finally, Caleb gave him a glance. What do you mean? Aaron spoke softly. You know what I mean. It's as if no one really tried. Caleb laughed a little, but it sounded forced. Come on, man. Nobody throws challenges at this early a time. That's risky. Is it? Aaron shot back. Or would it be ideal if everyone agreed on a goal at this point? Caleb's smile wore off. Do you think you were that target? Aaron didn't answer right away. He was not required to. Everything was said by the silence. Caleb sighed, standing up. Look, paranoia is part of this game. Don't let it consume you. And just like that, he walked away. Aaron watched him go, his suspicion deepening. That had not felt like comfort. It appeared to be a deflection. The tribe gathered around the fire as the sun set lower. The laughter was forced and brittle as the conversations overlapped. Aaron tried to join in, but he felt like he was reading a script every time he spoke. Then he noticed something. Jordan and Mia whispered as they leaned close to each other across the fire. They gave him a quick but not sufficient glance. Aaron felt his stomach tighten. He stood up and walked toward them. Hey, he said casually, what are the plans for tonight? Mia, clearly taken aback, blinked. Plan? Aaron said, for tribal. We ought to be on agreement. Jordan exchanged a look with her before answering. Yeah, totally. We'll figure it out. Aaron pressed. That's not really an answer. Mia forced a smile. We're just weighing options. Again, Aaron said, auctions. Like exactly. Again, a pause. Another glance between them. Like keeping the tribe strong, Jordan said finally. Aaron gave a slow nod. Right, strong. He stepped back, hands raised slightly. Just wanted to check in. He felt their gaze on his back as he left. It was taking place. They were closing ranks, and he was on the outside. Night fell quickly, and with it came the familiar dread of tribal council. The torches flickered as the tribe made their way through the jungle, each step heavier than the last. Aaron tried to steady his breathing. If his name was out there, he needed to know. He required combat. But who could he trust? The questions continued to come at tribal. How did the challenge loss affect morale? Do you trust your tribe? Is tonight an easy vote or a complicated one? The responses were carefully worded but vague. No one said anything concrete, but the undertones were clear. Division, uncertainty, strategy. Aaron paid close attention and tried to decipher what was being said. Then it was his turn. Aaron, the host said, you've been quiet tonight. What's on your mind? He thought about it for a while before deciding. Honestly, he said, I feel like something's not adding up. A few people looked up, eyes narrowed. Aaron went on to say that during the challenge, it felt like we gave up too easily. And now that I'm back at camp, it seems like people are talking to each other without me. The air shifted. That's the game, though, Mia said quickly. People talk. Aaron replied, of course, but there's a difference between strategy and exclusion. Jordan leaned forward. Are you saying you think we threw the challenge? Aaron met his gaze. I'm saying it crossed my mind. The reactions from the group varied, with some surprised, others defensive, and others guilty? Caleb gave a head shake. That's a serious charge. Aaron said, I'm not accusing, I'm questioning. The host crouched down. And what implications does that have for your vote tonight? Aaron exhaled deeply. It means I have to trust my instincts. The voting began. They went into the booth one by one, writing their names on parchment. As he waited for his turn, his heart was racing. The walk seemed to go on forever when he finally stood. He stared at the blank parchment inside the booth. If he was right, they were coming for him. If he was wrong, he could end his game with one vote. He wrote a name. He remained seated and avoided making eye contact with anyone. Votes were read aloud. First vote, Aaron. Second vote, Jordan. Third vote, Aaron. Fourth vote, Aaron. His chest tightened. Fifth vote, Jordan. Sixth vote, Aaron. That was enough. The world seemed to go quiet as the realization hit. They had done it. The result was the same regardless of whether they participated in the challenge. He got up and made his way toward the host, torch in hand. Any final remarks? He was asked. Aaron scrutinized the faces of his tribe as he looked back at them. I don't know if you threw that challenge, he said, but I know this. You didn't lose it by accident. There was no response. The torch was snuffed, smoke curling into the night air. As Aaron disappeared into the darkness, one question lingered among the remaining players. Had they just made a brilliant move, or was it a terrible error?